I'm Bruce Duckworth. I'm creative director and founder of Turner Duckworth. We've been in business for 24 years and we design visual identities and brands, packaging for consumer brands.
I'm Mark Bonner. I'm founder, co-creative director of GBH in London. We are mere fledglings, just 16 years old, also working in branding. Our feeling is that it has changed, and we feel it has almost inverted. We used to think of, I think when we were young designers, we used to think of brand identity as a kind of byword for consistency, and everything was led from a brand's mark. Now I think that pyramid is kind of inverted, and with multi-channel communications today, we look at the broad end of that pyramid first, and I think people check out via lots of experiences and activations and engagements with the brand, often via the brand's mark. We just can't be sure now what people will see first.
I think I agree with you totally. I think there is a difference in the way brands behave to the way they did when we first started. I think brands used to be a company making things with a veneer of marketing between them and the consumer. But these days, brands, everywhere's so transparent, you can't do that. So I think successful modern brands, it's the brand and the business working together, which is a very different thing. So that transparency means the opportunity for creativity and design is enormous, because there are so many parts that you literally don't know where consumers are coming from and where they're going to interact with the brand. So even the most mundane, most small thing can become the most important thing.
It could be their first relationship with that brand.
And I think we used to see those grand gestures. We used to always try and make the great campaigns, the great branding opportunities can be completely skipped these days. So we really have to. Design is so important to be right at the core and the centre of everything. It's a very different world, and actually is inverted, absolutely as you say. So consistency, it's not boring. Consistency is no longer, good enough. Everything has to interact with the context perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is wonderful. I mean, it's an amazing time to be working in branding, because the challenges are so broad, and we're creating many different types of representations of that brand's tone of voice, and it's the diversity of applications now is a joy. I mean, it's an absolute joy to be working in so many different medias for so many different clients. It's a great thing.
It's also an era where we have to produce so much stuff, and the consistency has to be great. I think what I think is so what is really interesting at the moment is the rise of the need of creative excellence. It's become almost a business requirement to produce creatively excellent work, because those things that are creatively excellent actually are the bits that get photographs, the bits that get liked, and bits that get shared. So I think the currency of excellence is a good place to be, and it's great for designers who care about that kind of thing.